Hey there, health coach. I'm Michelle McLean and I'm your health coach skills mentor. And if you aren't familiar with me and my approach to health coaching, then this is a great video to get started with, as it summarizes my top 10 tips for new health coaches. These are insights that I've gained over the last 14 years of health coaching hundreds of clients and through years and thousands of dollars in training and certifications. My goal in sharing these tips today is that they will save you time, energy, and money, and will get you closer to being an effective and successful health coach. So let's jump right into my top 10 game-changing tips for new health coaches. So the first 5 tips that I want to share are things to stop doing, and then the last 5 are things to start doing. So number 1, stop trying to be the expert, diagnosing, prescribing, and treating, and really shift into the ally guide mode. We are not medical experts, and if you try to show up as one, you will always feel like a fraud and an imposter. And if you can let go of this mindset and show up as a partner, a collaborator, a facilitator, you can release all of the pressure to have to know it all. Number 2, stop doing health histories. So I have a full video on this one, but basically if you do the typical health history, which is more like a medical intake, then you're going to set up the coaching relationship like a medical one. Your client is going to think that you're going to be able to fix all of their medical conditions. So instead, I invite you to use a coach approach where you ask some powerful questions, you build rapport and trust, you really listen to the client and give them a taste of what it's like to work with you and to be coached. Tip number 3 is to stop doing free sessions. I know that many new coaches start with free practice sessions or programs to build experience and gain confidence. That makes sense. Often this is with friends and family who aren't necessarily invested in you or your offer. They're doing it as a favor. And because it's free, they have no real skin in the game. They don't take it seriously and end up not doing the work or not showing up fully. And this can backfire and leave you as the coach feeling worse off than when you started. So I recommend asking for a nominal fee so that the person is invested in some way, and always ask for a testimonial after and include an agreement in your free offer. Number 4, stop sending recap emails. This is a big one in the beginning for most new health coaches because we want to do all the work for our clients in order to provide value because we don't really yet believe in our skills. So we take tons of notes during the session, we send lengthy recap emails, and basically transcribing the whole session. And then we might bombard the client with resources, links, handouts, and recipes as well. And this is going to take way too much time, and at the end of the day doesn't really empower the client. They might not even read it. Instead, I suggest getting the client to send you a recap email after the session, which outlines their commitments. This is going to save you a ton of time, energy, and will be much more empowering for the client in the end. Tip number 5 is to stop coaching without an agreement. I see many new coaches working with no agreement or a very brief one as they get started. And really the foundation of the coaching relationship is an agreement. And so if you don't have one, there's going to be lots of misunderstandings, miscommunication, and frustration. But with a detailed agreement in place, that's going to detail the way you work together. It's going to be much more clear. Logistics will be clear, and if a problem arises, you can always go back to the agreement since you already agreed on it at the start of the coaching relationship. Tip number 6 is to start learning behavioral change coaching. So we always say in coaching that we are not the experts in the client's life. We're not medical experts, but we should be experts in behavior change. That's really what we're doing, because this is what we're helping the client with. They usually know what they need to do and they have tons of information, but doing it is the hard part. So as a behavioral change coach, we become experts in setting the client up for success when it comes to making changes around their health and well-being. This is what we really need to be experts in. Tip number 7 is to start to get clear on the coaching process and the structure for your program. I see so many coaches jumping right into the first session, trying to assess what the client's health issue is, and then giving a bunch of recommendations. Well, this approach is rarely successful. Behavior change coaching is a process that starts from the very first time we meet the client on the discovery call. And then we start to set up the client for success through an intentional onboarding process. And then we lead the client through some self-exploration during 2 to 3 foundation sessions. And then once the client has established their values, their vision, and their goals, we continue through the remaining parts of the program with client-led ongoing sessions. And then of course, we wrap up with a mindful close. Tip number 8 is to start with more practice. In order to become an effective behavioral change health coach, the biggest bang for your buck will be to actually practice your skills. It's one thing to read and learn coaching techniques from books or in trainings, but when you actually get a chance to put it into practice, that's when the real learning happens. And you don't have to wait to get clients or practice sessions to do it. You can start showing up more coach-like in your day-to-day life. Be more curious, ask more questions, listen more intently, and reflect back what you're hearing. These are just really great communication skills that will deepen all of your relationships. Tip number 9 is to start building your email list and nurture it. This is the marketing activity that all marketers agree on, and I did a whole video on this. Email marketing is one of the best and long-standing activities that we can build from. We tend to jump right to social media or our websites, which are great tactics as well, but with email marketing, we have a direct connection to our ideal clients. We can communicate directly with them with tailored messaging. So develop a freebie or a lead magnet and put it out there in as many places as you can to start building your email list. And then be consistent and nurture those leads with really valuable content on a regular basis. And then finally, tip number 10 is to start with baby steps to reduce the overwhelm. We all know that starting a health coaching business is not for the faint-hearted. It takes a variety of skills and strengths to learn to be an effective health coach, and then a whole other set of skills to run a successful business. It's overwhelming, frustrating, and can be discouraging. But it takes resistance, resilience, and determination. Well, my top tip is to stay focused on your vision, your big why, and then start planning out those baby steps that are going to lead you to that larger goal. So remember, building a successful health coaching practice takes time and dedication. It can be frustrating and overwhelming. By integrating these top tips that I shared with you today, you'll be better equipped to help your clients achieve their health and wellness goals. I teach all of these tips and principles and practices in my Health Coaching Essentials courses, and I've got the links to both the self-study version and the live course waitlist below. I look forward to hearing from you. Let me know any questions that you have about today's top 10 tips. Thanks for tuning in. Bye for now.